I think we all know about how impactful Power Rangers has been to pop culture and media as a whole, and just to me personally, it was probably my favorite thing to talk about and watch growing up. Just watching so many different awesome teams going up against big monsters in a giant mech with really cool and colorful costumes was something that no other kids show could match up to in terms of my own personal entertainment and just how cool it was. And even with all of that, it still managed to get across some pretty important life lessons and messages throughout the runtime. Power Rangers was just like that. It was that show. And this dates all the way back to the very first show that came out, the one that started it all, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It was a really cool episodic show with very fun action and quirky characters that were very likable and fun to watch, with surprisingly great development when looking back at the series. But the moment Power Rangers truly became something special, both to me and to lots of others, was the 5-part episode event, Green with Evil. The introduction of the Green Ranger, Tommy Oliver, the first Special Ranger. I went back and watched this after the tragic passing of Jason David Frank as a way to remember one of my childhood heroes, because even if it doesn't hold up to what it was when I was a kid, it would still hit me in many different spots solely because of what this character and this franchise has meant to me. But surprisingly, it holds up kind of perfectly, and I actually felt like I was back in my childhood when rewatching these episodes. I mean, yeah, there is stuff that really come across as very campy and corny when you're an adult watching this stuff, but that's kind of what makes Power Rangers special, so it doesn't ruin the experience at all. So in order to talk about just how great this arc works as a story and just as a cool piece of nostalgia, we have to go over what happens in this 5-parter just to refresh everyone's memories and capture all the awesome things that happened in this arc. So when we begin, Jason participates in a martial arts tournament and faces off against the new kid in town, Tommy Oliver, and our future Green Ranger. They surprisingly end this match in a tie, which is unheard of because Jason has been by far the best fighter in the show up until that point, which is why he's the leader of the team. But Tommy draws with him and shows his skills are on the same level as his. Everyone on the team takes notice of him, especially Kimberly, and even more so after he defends her from bullies at school, so she invites him to hang out after class, which he agrees to do. Rita Repulsa, our big bad at the time, takes notice of his skills too and decides to turn Tommy into her evil Green Ranger, the Power Ranger that'll take down Zordon and the Power Rangers once and for all. So while he's on his way out of school, he's attacked by putties and captured by Rita, who brainwashes him and uses all her power to transform Tommy into the powerful, evil Green Ranger, submitted to her will. His first mission comes pretty much right away, going to the Rangers Command Center while they're all gone, and messes with Alpha's system. He then proceeds to destroy the control panel, shutting Zordon off. Keep in mind at this point in the series, Zordon seemed completely invincible, like he was just the guy that gave the Rangers their missions and gave them all their information. But then you have Tommy here, the new Ranger, coming in and destroying the entire command center and getting rid of the Rangers' main source of knowledge and access to info. This was pretty crazy watching as a kid, and the scale of it is still pretty crazy now. The Rangers get a call from Alpha, who's completely glitching out and can't transport them to the command center, so they use their flying car, just go with it, to make it all the way there and see all the damage that has been done, which even Billy can't find a way to fix it all. It only gets worse when they see that Goldar is wreaking havoc on the city again. So they head into battle and summon their Megazord almost instantly. But to their surprise, Goldar just vanishes. And that's when the absolute most iconic and disrespectful moment in all of kids' TV happens. When the Green Ranger jumps up and breaks into the Megazord, runs into the main room, and beats all the Rangers' asses and kicks them out of their Zord. He takes them all outside and proceeds to solo the entire team. No Zord at all, mind you. None of the Rangers even get close to beating him, and he walks away victorious this time, giving the Rangers one of their biggest losses in the entire series and the most disrespectful moment in fiction. I don't care, man. Forget everything Aizen or Mater ever did. This is the most savage flex I've ever seen in a show, both as a kid and now. This guy just jumped into their own mech and beat them out of it just to beat them without pulling out his own Zord. Zord. If that isn't badass, then I don't know what is. Like, if badass was actually in the dictionary, the Green Ranger would be the fucking main image. The entire team is devastated at this point, especially our leader Jason, who had just let his team get destroyed by one guy in their own clothing. He wants to find this guy and beat his ass for good. I mean, all you gotta do is look at the shirt, Jason. They always wear the same colored clothing in every episode, man. Every single fucking time. Dude is literally wearing nothing but green. I think it should have been obvious from that point on. But anyways, I'm getting carried away. Jason starts training extra hard with Zach for their next encounter. Meanwhile, Kimberly meets Tommy at school to see why he didn't show up, but he completely blows her off, telling her that something came up and that he doesn't really care about her. Not even a bit. His entire attitude takes a complete 180 from when they first met. Tommy then gets summoned again by Rita to a remote location where he takes out a group of putties and is given his very own weapon, the Sword of Darkness. The weapon only given to who's worthy of destroying the Rangers, and his first target is Jason. As soon as he sees him after school, he transports Jason to Rita's prison while he's not looking, trapping him there with no escape. And what's even worse, he's stuck with Goldar, and he has his morpher. Jason gets his ass beat hard in this prison, even harder than before. He can hardly hold his own against a gold-armored alien, but I mean, you know, it's Goldar, so even then he'll find a way to lose. Don't worry, we're gonna come back to that. As the second in command, Zach's the one who leads them into battle with Jason missing. The team gets sight of the Green Ranger, but without Jason, they can't possibly face him. They have to go in short-handed. And well, I think you can guess where this goes. They summon their Zord after being unable to take him out hand-to-hand, which just makes Tommy leave. So they go back to the command center with still no signal to Zordon. Going back to the prison, Goldar does what Goldar does best and somehow fucks it up against Jason and literally loses sight of him because of the fucking steam. Great job, Goldar, you tried, just like the other 50 million times you've tried before. With the Green Ranger done for now, Rita sends Scorpina to take care of the Rangers while they go off to find Jason. They run into Tommy, who says Jason never showed up after school to train with him, but Zach calls BS as he already saw Jason there that day. So they try to catch up with him, but they're attacked by even more putties, so Tommy sneaks away. But that only gives the Rangers even more suspicion about him. Because Goldar is Goldar, he sucks. The Green Ranger is swapped out with him to take care of Jason in the prison, but thanks to Billy being the plot mastermind that he is, he takes care of the communicators and is able to get Jason out just in time to save him from the Green Ranger. What's so funny to me is how Goldar tries to tell Tommy off when he let Jason outsmart him and nearly beat his ass too. Like, have some self-awareness, man. This guy never won a fight in his life. The Rangers are reunited, but they have no time to talk since Scorpina is at it now, and she gives them a run for their money, but she comes back pretty much right away. And so, Rita sends Goldar. I'm crying, man. These villains are so funny. Lucky for him, the Rangers can't morph because of a power surge, so congrats, Goldar. You get your little Mickey Mouse invasion for now. After a bit of waiting, Billy fixes the command center up, so the Rangers are finally able to go fight Goldar. But wait, Scorpina shows up, because of course Goldar can't get the job done on his own. Tommy goes to the command center as soon as Alpha is about to get a hold of Zordon, which only spells more trouble for the Rangers. I really love how Bulk and Skull's bus gets grabbed by giant Goldar and he's just playing with them in the sky. Now, there's a shit ton of stuff happening right now, I know, but guess who comes to save the day from Tommy? Our favorite little robot, Alpha, who summons a force field around the Green Ranger and traps him. Thankfully for Tommy, he gets bailed out by Rita and grows to giant size and completely jacks up the Megazord, with a three-way of Scorpina and Goldar. Okay, yes, I know what I just implied there, but I'm not cutting that out. I'm just not going to. Their Zords are destroyed now, and they lost their most powerful weapon, with still no access to Zordon. They're getting ready to give up, but Jason and Alpha give motivational speeches, and Alpha's force field turns out to have scanned the Green Ranger's identity, and so they finally are able to figure it out. The Green Ranger is Tommy Oliver. In the final part of Green with Evil, we get our big climax, with our main goal, break Rita's spell on Tommy. Tommy finally gets his very own Zord, the mighty Dragon Zord, summoned by the flute of his dagger that he can somehow blow into with his helmet on. Alright, look man, it's a kid's show. We all know they didn't care about logic, so why should we? The Rangers catch notice of this and go straight into action, even despite their Zords being wrecked. Alpha's able to get a hold of Zordon for good this time, and with his help, the Ranger Zords are summoned back from the fire. They tap into their Megazord and battle the Dragon Zord, taking it down for good this time in an epic clash. Tommy and Jason both hop down and begin their final fight for the sake of all of Earth. And finally, Jason gets the upper hand, proving his position as the leader of the Rangers and destroying the Sword of Darkness, saving Tommy from the spell of Rita. Tommy is devastated by what he's done and he apologizes for everything that has happened, but the Rangers forgive him and invite him to join the team. He agrees and they all morph and summon their Zords together, becoming a team of 6 for the first time in Power Ranger history. I mean, Zordon says it himself.
You're watching History in the Making, Alpha. Finally, the prophecy has been fulfilled.
Rita does not want any piece of this and retreats against their new upgraded Megazord. Zordon swears Tommy in as a member of the Power Rangers and begins the legacy of the legendary greatest Ranger of all time, Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger, who later on becomes the White Ranger, the Red Zeo Ranger, the first Red Turbo Ranger, and the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. The Power Rangers rejoice of their new victory, and that is Green with Evil. That was such a great rewatch, man. Even as an adult now, I can't help but love this stuff so much. I mean, are there loads of logical inconsistencies? Yeah. Is it full of corny dialogue? Of course it is. But guess what? I don't care. I love it because of those exact reasons. Most of the members show their positions in the team very well this arc. Tommy steals the show every time, and the fights, despite being so implausible, are just so goddamn awesome. Like, dude, you have the Megazord spinning the Dragon Zord around the sky by its tail. If you don't think that's awesome, then I think you just hate to have fun. This still holds up well to this day, and as long as you don't take it seriously like you're supposed to do with Power Rangers, you're gonna love this just as much as I did. One thing I think Power Rangers always did a great job at was making fun and endearing characters that, despite their young demographic, still have loads of development and compelling arcs throughout the series. And it's made quite evident here, especially for Jason, Kimberly, and Tommy, who are the clear stars of this arc. Tommy especially, like where can you even begin with him? He's the first character to embarrass the Rangers the way he did, and it's just so goddamn memorable and fun. He's the most savage character ever and was the original badass to so many kids around the world, including to me. And that's for a good goddamn reason. This character did so much for my life and childhood, and I can't even begin to name all the fond memories I have with watching Tommy. He's the greatest Power Ranger of all time, and he came into the show with an absolute bang. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. Thank you, Jason David Frank, for all you have done as a hero to mine and to so many other people's childhoods. Rest in peace to the greatest Ranger there ever was. I know this isn't my usual type of content that I make, but the passing of Jason David Frank left a pretty big hit on me, as he really was my childhood hero growing up. It's a serious subject that I think is better left for another time, but if you or anyone else you know is suffering from depression, please reach out. It makes a bigger difference than you could possibly imagine. I love Power Rangers and wanted to talk about one of the most iconic parts of the franchise and the story arc that truly stamped it as a part of pop culture history. There's a lot more I could say, but I think this is a good spot to end the video off. As always, if you like this video, leave a like, comment down below what else you'd like me to talk about, whether it be anime and manga related, or hell, another Power Rangers video if a lot of you guys like this one. I want to say thank you all for 2,000 subscribers, by the way. I hit it last week, which I didn't make a video last week because I had a lot of stuff going on, but thank you all for that. It really means a lot to me, and let's continue to grow. With all that being said, I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.